Summer Garden Restoration. At the edge of the neighborhood, behind a wall of crumbling brick, lay a secret that the world had forgotten.
Ready? Let's open it. Okay.
Soren and Tansy stood before a rusted iron gate, nearly swallowed by thick, tangled ivy. "I think there's something wonderful behind here," Soren whispered, his fingers tracing the cold metal. Tansy nodded, her eyes bright with the thrill of a new adventure. The gate was stubborn, held fast by years of neglect. Idris joined them, bringing a small bag of tools and a determined smile. Together, Tansy and Idris pulled at the heavy latch, the metal groaning like a waking giant. With a sudden sharp snap, the lock gave way and the gate creaked open just enough for them to slip inside. Inside, the garden was a wild jungle of waist-high grass and rebellious wildflowers. Soren and Idris stepped cautiously through the overgrowth, their boots crunching on dry leaves. Every step revealed a new wonder, a patch of bluebells hiding in the shade, or a butterfly fluttering over a sea of clover. It was messy, but it felt alive.
Wow, look at all the butterflies. Yeah, they're so pretty. Let's go see the oak trees. Okay, I bet there's something cool there.
"Let's bring this place back to life," Tansy declared. The three friends set to work. Soren used garden shears to carefully trim the wild rose bushes that had grown into thorny walls. Tansy followed behind him, gathering the fallen branches into a neat pile. The air began to smell of fresh earth and cut stems as the garden's true shape started to emerge. As they cleared away a thick blanket of moss from a corner of the garden, Tansy let out a gasp. Beneath the green carpet sat a weathered stone statue of a sleeping fox, its tail curled around its nose. Idris knelt beside her, reaching out to touch the smooth, cool stone. "He's been waiting for a long time for someone to find him," Idris said softly. They moved deeper into the garden, where the air felt cooler and the shadows grew long. Looming ahead of them was a massive weeping willow tree, its long trailing branches hanging down like a green curtain. Soren and Idris stood at the edge of its canopy, marveling at the way the leaves swayed in the light breeze, whispering secrets to the wind. Soren reached out and parted the willow branches, revealing a hidden sanctuary nestled underneath. "Look," he called out to Tansy. They stepped through the curtain of leaves and found themselves standing on the edge of a small, forgotten pond. The water was still and dark, covered in a thin layer of emerald duckweed and fallen willow leaves. Tansy and Idris began to clean the pond, using a long net to scoop away the debris. As the water cleared, a flash of bright orange darted beneath the surface. Suddenly, 3 large koi fish rose to the top, their scales shimmering like gold coins in the dappled light. The fish circled peacefully, as if thanking the children for the fresh air and sunlight. By the time the afternoon shadows began to stretch across the lawn, the garden had been transformed. The paths were clear, the stone fox was clean, and the pond sparkled. Soren and Idris sat together on an old stone bench they had discovered under a mound of brambles. The garden felt like a place of peace and magic, a secret world they had saved together. The sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of violet and apricot. Tansy and Soren leaned against the sturdy trunk of the weeping willow, watching the garden glow in the twilight. They knew they would return tomorrow and the day after that. The secret garden wasn't a secret anymore. It was their home, a place where friendship and nature bloomed side by side.
This is so beautiful. Yeah, look at the pond. The lily pads are glowing. Wow.
As the last sliver of the sun dipped below the horizon, the trio stood by the iron gate one last time. They didn't snap the lock shut this time. Instead, they left it slightly ajar, a silent invitation for the magic of the garden to breathe. Soren, Tansy, and Idris shared a quiet look of pride, knowing that while the work was just beginning, the heart of the garden was beating once more. With a final wave to the stone fox and the shimmering koi, they stepped back into the world outside the brick wall, their hearts full and their hands stained of the honest soil of a new beginning. "See you tomorrow," Soren called out, his voice echoing softly against the old brick. Goodbye, and thank you for joining Soren, Tansy, and Idris on their journey. May you find your own secret garden wherever you go.